Just talking to Robert Duvall, he seems so pivotal to getting this project to work to the level that it does, and to getting it, even perhaps getting it made. Can you explain if that, was that true, or what was your desire as far as your leading man was concerned?
Well, certainly he's one of the big catalysts to getting this project off the ground. But from my standpoint, more creatively than it is sort of the financial value of having Robert Duvall. One would think having such a American acting icon in the lead is opens up the coffers, but in fact, it doesn't mean much, and that's sort of sad. But it meant everything to us that he responded to the screenplay. I mean, he's the anchor of the story. It's his journey that we're taken on. And when I first read Get Low, you didn't have to think that hard, for Robert Duvall's name to come up. And it's not as if it was an inspired choice. It was really just the only choice. And he patiently stood by this project and this.
How long did it take to get made?
Well, for me, about 8.5 years.
Wow.
I read the screenplay in early 2002, and went down a lot of dead-end roads and came across a lot of snake oil salesmen along the way. But finally, the hard work and a little bit of serendipity sprinkled in allowed this thing to take off.
Well, who ended up finally financing the film?
Private investor, producing partner on this film named David Zanuck put in about 80% of the budget.
And what was the budget?
$7.
Mm-hmm.
And he had sort of teased around investing in film before Get Low, but for some reason or another, it never worked out. But Get Low struck his fancy, and this is a guy who made all his fortune in the insurance business, which is obviously very conservative. But he had a lot of faith in the screenplay. He had a lot of faith in Aaron and my abilities to execute. And thank God for him, because it might have taken another 8 years if he didn't come around.
Well, how did you finally end up with the cast that you did? I mean, and why did you pick Aaron Schneider? I mean, it just strikes me it might have been easier if you didn't have a first-time director.
Perhaps, but the passion might not have been there, and I didn't have any money to pay a director anyways. But the passion and his desire to tell this story could make up for that, and something happened to me while on the director search that had never happened to me before in this business, and probably won't happen again. I was speaking to an agent about a few of his director clients, and instead of just trying to steer me into accepting one of his clients that might not be appropriate, he in fact didn't even recommend any of his clients. He recommended Aaron Schneider, who was a client at a different agency. And agents just don't do that. But this one did, and I thank him for it. So I knew that this Aaron Schneider must be worth checking out if this agent, who didn't even handle him, was pushing his case. And they sent me the short film, which won the Oscar, and that was great. Visually, I knew we would be in good hands because of his cinematography background,
right.
and it was period.
He had done Deadwood.
Thematically, there was similarities. Obviously, the period, but it wasn't until I met him and I understood, and I heard the story of how that short film got made and how he put his entire life savings on this gamble. And I thought we needed that sort of gambling spirit and that sort of, sort of tenacity, that ability to get a lot out of very little, which he showed on the short film with Get Low, and that's in fact what happened. He got he got $1 out of every penny we had, and it's all very much on the screen. And Bobby was already interested in playing Felix Bush at the time that Aaron expressed interest, and I think for Aaron it was, as a first-time full-length feature director, the opportunity to work with, perhaps one of the greatest living actors.
And presumably he was able to be, the fact that he was on the film was able, that was how you were able to get everybody else to work for nothing.
He was very much the magnet, of course.